you want to switch the career, or if there is any homemaker like kind of audience are there in the group, just you can introduce yourself. Like one a couple of introductions should be enough. Go ahead, Kiran.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I have a career break, but I've been a non-IT. I've been into
Non-IT.
non-IT industry, yeah, from 2008, and then I stopped working till 2021. So technically, like from 21 till now, I'm not working. But I consider like coming into IT, I consider like I'm totally a fresher. So a career break of almost 17 years, I would say.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else, or anyone's worked in different domain and want to switch to different career kind of QA? Yeah, go ahead, Tarun.
Right, sir. Good afternoon. So myself, Tarun Chintur, and I worked as a HR previously. So and I have a complete non-technical background. So right now I'm trying to pursue a technical background. So that's why I'm looking forward for it.
Great, thank you. And
Thank you.
anyone last candidate? Anyone is there? Okay, it's fine. We can go ahead to the topic, and let me share my slide. Let me know if you can see my screen. You can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And I guess Ram Guru, like the topic is QA job role for Salesforce, right? So that's what the topic.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, but like it will be a general topic. It can be any kind of project, Salesforce project or e-commerce project, or just back-end testing, like any kind of projects. If you take with different specific domains, the QA functionality and the foundation remains the basic would be covered here. So if you go specific to project specific, you can study based on that. So here I will be concentrating on the basic foundation, right? Okay. So this is my introduction. I just already told I am a certified in. I like people who don't know about ISTQB. It's International Software Testing Quality Board. So here, if you get certified, it will be the certification is valid. There is no never ending, so it never expires. So you'll have it is internationally recognized. So if you never heard of this, you can learn this ISTQB, and others are related to the agile and cloud practitioner. And apart from that, I also do volunteering and other stuff. Okay. So here, agenda is what QA professional do, required skills and career path for growth opportunities. And just stop me if I'm going speed, or if you're not, screen is not visible, something like this, please raise your hand. Okay, so shall I move on to the next one?
Yes.
Okay. Right. Okay. So what is QA? So if, for example, like, there are different kind of companies you might heard about. Like there is a product company and there is a service company. So in both the thing, you have to make sure the quality, you are providing the quality output. For example, if you are developing a product which is used by the market, right? You want to make sure the cost is effective. At the same time, it's behaves the way the client has requested, right? So to ensure quality, like test application to ensure the meet requirements. So whatever the customer gives, right? So based on that, the product should behave, right? Next, identify and report defects. So in process of doing the quality, you will have a testing team, that is software testing team. You also call as a quality assurance. You need to make sure the product works as per the requirement. So for that, you do the various kind of testing, like regression testing, sanity testing, smoke testing, functional testing, component testing. There are many kind of testing you have to do. So there is like for each thing you have a different kind of definition. So it will like it goes more time. So I'm just touching the high level thing. Okay. And for there is a process, right? Whatever if you're working, I think you guys are already I guess you are in Salesforce, probably you might be learning or you are doing some kind of job, right? So whatever work you do, you follow some process given by your lead or your mentor, right? So if you follow the process, then only you will get the result. So those kind of process you need to also maintain in the QA also, like creating the test cases, right? Writing the test cases and running the test cases, what the tool is used, or you can use just with spreadsheet, you can write test cases. So those are the process you need to follow to get the expected results. The results can be either pass or failure. If it is a failure, you need to work with developers to fix it. And like, right, I will just go ahead with verify fixes and collaborate across teams, support release cycle. So it's not about only your testing and reporting the team. At the same time, you might need to support the admin, not admin in the sense here I'm talking about the infrastructure admin who deploy to the production, right? For example, if you're working on a website project, so locally you would have worked and you will be working in some QA environment, development environment, but that needs to be go to the, for example, Flipkart, right? If it's a Flipkart, they are making some changes. That changes, they have tested everything, and it needs to be used by you and me, right? As a consumer, we need to make sure that functionality is working. For example, some product is not there, they have added it. So you need to go and check. So in order to do that, you should have the support from DevOps team. So they do that release kind of thing. So that also you will be contributing in everywhere. So QA is not about just doing the QA job. It is from starting getting the requirement. In the requirement also you will find gaps, right? So your work, it's not finding fault. You are making sure that software meets the quality, right? So do you have any questions here? Like if not, we can discuss later, or I can move on to the next slide. Shall I move on to the next one?
Yes, sir. Please.
Okay, sure. So sorry, I will not be able to see the chat. If anyone can just say like, okay, then I move on. So here are required skills. So required skills, basically for a manual testing, you don't need much kind of technical skills, but basic, like you say, right, the kind of a common sense, like analytical kind of basic things is enough. Like understanding the requirement, breaking down and doing the task into segregating into small and working on that small task, and as well as communication skill is majorly important, because you have to communicate with different clients, right? So basically, like if you want to work with US, UK, everywhere you need English. So you should have that good communication skill to understand their requirement. Okay. Then for manual testing, I think the basic analytical thing should be sufficient. And manual testing techniques are there. So those things you can easily grasp with a kind of example. I'll give in later part. And automation testing is what, like once manual is done, you should move on to the automation testing to save time and cost. And there is a basic SQL and API testing. Probably you might, guys, if you're already working on development or anything, you might have heard about SQL thing. And API testing is nothing but the backend testing. So whatever the request you do in front end, for example, in a Flipkart, right? If you're searching for a product and that product will give some result, right? So in backend, some API call, the application program interface, API means. So some API call goes hit and it will provide response. So what happens there is some backend call goes from client to server and server response. So, and another thing is whatever I mentioned in the last slide, right? For deploying into production, for that you need this DevOps basic CI/CD. And I told, right, the whatever work, whatever you do, right, you need to follow some process. So that process is organized in a tool, kind of test management tool. You might have heard about Jira, X-Ray, Test Rail, something kind of tool, like where all the processes are kept so that you follow the process, so you will get the result. Attention to detail. So here, like you should be more. The difference is here QA. Why we have separate team as QA, right? In the development, they do work, but they might not be able to find out their defects. That's the reason we need that third party or like the other one to look into, because they also have the unit testing, but they cannot find all the bugs. So in that scenario, the QA should have more eye on getting even the edge cases. You should test in a way that whatever work you do, right, you should imagine how does it work in the production. In the production, what kind of issues can come. You should have that kind of analytical thinking. Okay, so that you minimize more bugs into the production. And agile, so agile and SDLC, so this is a part of the process. So old is software development life cycle, agile is the recent one, probably you might have heard about that, where you don't want to wait for months or years to release the product, right? You just release every 2 weeks. It's a kind of prototype or a small chunks you can release, so that small kind of, if, for example, I told, right, example, take the same Flipkart. If some product is missing, or you adding a product, or you are adding some rating system, right, ranking system, the product 5-star 4-star, something is missing, you are implementing that feature alone. So those features can be implemented weekly once or twice a week, so based on the customer needs. Okay, and do you have any questions here, or you can note down and we can have it later? Shall I move on to the next one?
Yes, sir.
Sure. Okay. So I'm just from the starting, you might notice that I'm taking the Flipkart as example. With that, I'm like linking the slide with that, so that you can also have the, you can think in the same way, so it will be easy to understand. And yeah, again, software testing. So this is the definition, where performance, quality, and it's not about just finding a bugs. I told it's not about finding a bug. It also to make sure it meets the user expectation. So whatever the client, whatever, for example, I report in Flipkart, I report saying that you have a bug here, where if I search for mobile, it also displays iPad or like other, right, other product. So there is a bug, I'm raising it. So it is a kind of user expectation. So they have their own support team. Flipkart will have their own support team that will be escalated to their support team, and based on the priority, who will decide the priority? The business. There will be business people for each company. So for Flipkart, there will be business people there, and they will do the impact analysis in what way it is, what it's affecting the consumer. Whether it's a payment. If it's a payment, means it will be a high priority. So immediately they have to fix it. So the process goes like that. So you need to meet the expectation. I think someone is pinging. I just want to check. Okay, it's fine. And to verify that software meets the specific requirement, ensuring it behaves as in that according to the user story. So here in Agile, they instead of requirement, they call as a user story. Don't get confused with that. So and again, it's identifying the bugs as early in the development cycle. So, and if the developers who are working, right, if they find their bugs at the early stage, so most of the rework will get minimized in the unit testing. They also have the unit testing. If they find, then if it comes to QA is the main, we have to find it, like even like P3, P4, there is a priority. P1, P2, like priority, as I said, right, if it's related to something payment related stuff, it's a priority one. You need to definitely fix that. So based on that, you need to find P1, P2, P3, P4, everything you need to find in QA. But it would be nice if the developers find their P1 in their development phase itself, so that you your time and cost will get minimized in the development phase itself. So that's what here they are finding as a early possible testing. Here also some separate technique are there. Test driven testing is there. So where all the defects are found earlier before development. So those are separate topic. So just to give an highlight here, just keep in mind that QA effort starts from the requirement till deploying to the production. So you should have that mindset. every QA members. So shall I move on to the next one?
Yes.
Okay. And why do we test software? As everything is already covered here. So again, ensuring quality. It guarantees that software is reliable, performs efficiently. For example, performance in the sense, if I say, right, if you same Flipkart, if you're searching for some product, it should display within 2 to 3 seconds, right? It should not go beyond 5 seconds. Then there is a slowness in the website. So those things need to be taken care. So even QA should be responsible for testing that also, not only testing the functionality, but also do the performance testing, because as I said, right, you should keep in mind that how does it works in the production. Even that also we need to monitor, and meets all the functional, non-functional. Functional in the sense, right, the payment working fine, right? And if the product is behaving like it, whether the product is, you are able to add to cart functionality is working fine. And before that, whether each product having that product description, right? The product detail page is there, and feedback is there, rating is there, right? Those are the functionality. Here, non-functional, as I said, non-functional is what I mentioned as a performance. Performance, like how fast it is loading, right? And also same time, no one should be able to hack the Flipkart, right? It should be so secure that no one can hack and make it disable or something like that, right? Or use some other credential and use some other payment and get the product. So those things should not be done. So that security testing comes under non-functional, right? And requirement leading to greater customer satisfaction. So customer satisfaction is the main thing here. So we need to make the quality is ensured with cost effectiveness. So reduced cost, what I mentioned earlier, it's the same thing. The cost of fixing a bug increases exponentially the later it's found. Means you need to identify early. So early you identify, the cost is reduced. If you find it very late, how the cost increase? Already there are 5 people are working in the QA, and 3 to 4, like 10 people working in the development, right? So there is a bug, and you are finding at the later point, instead of finding first week, you are finding at the 5th week, right? So the remaining 4 weeks, people will be working on the same functionality again and again without knowing there is a bug. So there is a cost, right? Cost involved for paying all these resources, the tools, everything, right? Everything is waste. So that is what here they are mentioning. And face a signal reduce rework, right? So that rework is reduced if you find a bug earlier. And financial, as I said, the payment, right? The financial overhead. Okay. Next, the verify behavior. So testing ensures that application behaves consistently across different environments. So here we call this as a compatibility testing. For example, in development, you will have the developers will be working on one environment. QA, you will be having testing in separate environment. It can be staging or QA. And production, there will be separate environment. So whatever the functionality you are testing should be consistent across all the environment. So that we need to make sure it's working. For example, I say is the Flipkart should work same in iPhone, iPad, Android, tablet, right? Chrome browser, Firefox browser, and whatever the Edge browser, right? Or the functionality should same across all the browsers, because people might be the people are using across the world. Take it Amazon.com, right? They are using across the world. They'll be using different devices. They'll be having different browsers, right? Different platform, right? The functionality of searching a functionality or search functionality or add to cart functionality should behave same across all the platform, right? So that is what the behavior they're mentioning. So the developers should handle that, and the QA should ensure it working fine, right? So shall I move on to the next one?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sure. Okay. And yeah, there are the advanced techniques are there to minimize that. So there is a Docker. So that is very advanced, where Docker gives the functionality of maintaining that across all platforms. So it also reduces the testing burden also. So those are advanced. And key principle of testing, right? Testing shows presence of defects. Right? Testing can prove that defect exists, but it cannot definitely prove that there are no defects. Right? You cannot make sure, right? You are given 2 weeks sprint agile project, right? And the QA build will come in second week, right? Second week, and you have only 4 days to test, right? In 4 days, you cannot confirm that you are doing exhaustive testing, right? Second one is exhaustive testing. You cannot do different kind of possible, different kind of scenario. You cannot do. Definitely, there is going to be a bug. But what as a QA can ensure is there is no high priority severity bug, right? Priority bug kind of a payment related. Severity in the sense related to business needs. Whatever the consumer asks, right? The client who is paying for us, right? Whatever the important functionality, what the client asks, that should be done. So those kind of functionality related bugs should not occur, but there can be a very minor defect, right? Minor kind of something very kind of UI issue where some alignment that is acceptable, but functionality should definitely work, right? So testing can prove the defects, but we cannot deliver, we cannot say like it's 100% correct. Okay, that's impossible. So the same thing is exhaustive testing I mentioned, and early testing is crucial, right? You need to try to find the bug early. So test driven development is there, where QA, like as I said, like in the 2 weeks, we can get the environment in first week, asking the developers to give the mock data so that we can set up the environment and test with the mock data and make sure everything is working fine. And if the real data comes, we can use the same data and we can test it quickly. So there are different types of techniques came. So we can apply and find it earlier. So that is shift left, I think mentioned here, but the deep into it, that's a different technology. Defects cluster together. Okay. Just a kind of a quick question. How many of you know Pareto principle here?
Is that 20 to 80?
Yeah, 80-20.
20% to 80. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I know. Sure.
Yeah,
That
sure.
means 80% of the problems we can sort out with 20% of the questions and answers.
Correct. You're right. Exactly. Thank you. The same thing applies here. Okay. Where what they're saying is right. A small number of modules, only small number. Consider it's a 20%. It will give 80% of risk. Contain most of the defects. Right. Small number of modules or components typically contain most of the defects. So your priority should make sure at least, right, the small amount, you should make that small amount is fixed so that your 80% of problems is solved, right? So that is more important here. And another thing, testing is context dependent, right? Here for medical device, you cannot test a medical device the same way as you testing the normal testing, right? For medical means you should have the medical knowledge, like you should have the healthcare domain expertise, right? So based on that, based on the domain knowledge, you should test. So that domain knowledge is very important. That's what here they mentioned. The appropriate testing approach varies significantly based on the types of software. For example, you are testing a mobile. The way you test the mobile, you cannot go and test the IoT device, right? The medical device or any other device kind of thing. And for example, Salesforce, right? If you're testing Salesforce, you're doing means for Salesforce, you have like Salesforce Cloud, Salesforce Community, and you have what cases, right? You will have some kind of structure, right? CRM. So all the CRM, ERP, all the knowledge you should have, right, to test it. Without knowing, you cannot simply go and test it, right? So that is what here. It is a context dependent. Okay. And shall I move on to the next one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And here comes the agile, right? So as I said initially, I would mention, right, for deploying, right, whatever changes to the production, there is a separate team called DevOps, right? So they deploy in the cloud, or it can be on-prem, right? It can be a local server they want, right? For that, you should support them, right? So here they use tools like Jenkins, right, for CI/CD integration. So whatever the changes you do, for example, you might have noticed in the Amazon, right? There might be some offers going on, right? Offer ends in another 2 hours, right? This product offers ends 2 hours, right? So those offer promo code works instantaneously. Like whatever the changes you do in the development, right? It will go instantly. They do some kind of testing. It goes to production. So just let me know if you don't understand. Okay. So 2 weeks sprint. First week development will happen. Second week testing will do, and second week end you will deploy to the production, right? So that is what the agile works. Here DevOps, you do coding, build, deploy, and test. Everything happens simultaneously on the same day. Whatever the offer I mentioned, right? The same day, coding will happen, testing will happen, build will happen, and build will move from QA staging and to the production. And the production it will run. If there is in the production, if there is any issue, that feedback will be given back to the developer. The developer fix it and do that again. So agile, I mentioned you need to wait for 2 weeks to move to the production. Here in the DevOps, for the scenario kind of offers, right, it will happen daily, right? Can you able to differentiate? So if you want to do it on daily, so that comes DevOps CI/CD model, where everything happens simultaneously, right? So here, the main challenge for QA will be, right, you will have challenge, like you will most of the time you will be asked to do the testing the same functionality and again. So in order to go with like mutual understanding, everyone, you should not only have that communication skill, you should also have that negotiation skill, relationship maintaining skill, other kind of skill you should have, because everyone will be busy with their work. At the same time, we are also busy. We are not saying that we are not busy, but the real role comes here is collaborative work approach. If you are raising the bug, you are raising in a kind of a Jira or you can spreadsheet, you are assigning to the developers. In the agile, how they will be sitting is, right, they on two rows they will be sitting, right? Instead of raising and giving to them, you can directly go and talk to the developer. See, hey, see, this is the bug we found out. You just need to find out. Here you are saving time, correct? Instead of going to the email, learning and everything, directly approaching the members. So these are the challenges the QA facing till now. So apart from communication skill, you should have that other negotiating, collaborating skill, right? So that that should be a friendly approach. At the same time, if it is not right, you should be kind of assertive, and at the same time, not in the rude manner. It's a kind of an healthy manner. So at the same time, developers, they need to work with QA and admin, so that then only they will be able to deploy the production, right? Sometimes there will be a restriction from the production, whether they won't allow the QA people, right, to give the permissions, right, because they have their own security policy. So in that cases, the hosting team, they need our support, and also we cannot access their environment, right? We know we know what needs to be done, but we don't have access to the environment. Those people know how to work in the environment, but they don't know what to do. So there is a gap. So in this case, everyone should work together. So that will be kind of challenging. And here the QA we should have built that kind of what to say. You have that kind of knowledge in how to solve the problem quickly. You should always think in a way that how this can be simplified instead of complicating, right? So that's the thing the agile came, right? So let me know if you have got my point, and if it's fine, we can move on to the next one.
Yes, so we can move.
Okay. So Ramguru, you tell right, half an hour is finished, so we can pause, and if we have any questions, we can get it done, or we can do it later. Guys, do you have any questions or?
Yeah, give me a minute, sir. Let
Okay.
me check. Guys, till this part, if you have any questions, you can ask him. Or else we can move to next slide.
Yeah, as I said, guys, it should be interactive. Like that too. After afternoon, you guys may having heavy food and want to make sure everyone is listening. Hope I'm correct. Hello.
Guys, if you have any questions, you can ask. And just know whatever he explained about what is software, what is how we can do the software testing and all.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I have a small doubt. Actually, in the you have mentioned that in the technical skills, you have mentioned that manual testing techniques and automation, right? So
Yeah.
my question is like, in QA, do we have like a separate manual tester and automation tester, or like one person who can do both, or individual persons like we have?
Yeah, it's based. It is based on the project, right? Project and company, their requirement. Usually, like all the companies, first what they prefer is go ahead with the manual testing. That will be the first step, right? Because in the automation testing, you will not be able to find many bugs when compared to manual testing. Okay, because in manual testing, you should have that different. You should know what are different kind of testing available, what are different kind of testing techniques, right? And all those basic foundational knowledge you should have to find the bug, right? That you cannot achieve directly in the automation. Okay, so if anyone wants to perceive like get their career started in the QA, first you should be more knowledgeable in manual testing. I recommend the manual testing is more important, at least for couple of years, right? Then you move on to the automation. But these days, companies expect you to work both manual and automation together. It depends upon the project and depends upon the company. So, but the bugs you can identify only if you have more knowledge in manual. So it's better to concentrate on manual before moving to the automation.
Okay, sir.
There is not much difference between the manual and automation. Whatever the repetition task you are doing, right, in the manual, that repetition time takes, right? You want to reduce that repetition time take. That if you automate, instead of taking 1 hour, it will take 30 minutes. Got my point? So that is the difference between QA, the manual and automation.
Okay, sir.
Hope I answered your question.
Yes.
Anyone else?
One question from my side. Actually, I don't have any knowledge about QA. So while doing software testing and all, do we have any separate tools to do the testing?
Yeah, we have separate tools.
If you don't mind, can you please explain to those tools to our trainees?
Yeah, it will come in upcoming slide. I will mention that.
Sure.
Yeah, upcoming slides it will come. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Shall I move on to the slide then?
Yeah, please, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Okay. This is software development life cycle. So Agile, I said, right? Till now, I would have talked about Agile. Agile is what the present all the companies they want. This is old one, the software development cycle, which started early, long back, where your product will be released after 2 months or after 1 month or after a quarter, like that your product will be released. So after releasing, right, you will find a bug, you will come back to the requirement gathering. Again, you go step by step, right? It's kind of water. How does the water part, right? So it is like that. So in that cases, there will be more kind of challenging thing is, right, your cost is more, your resources are used more, right? So in order to avoid that, there came many kind of cycle. Then it's called V model, then spiral model, then comes the agile. So I just written this slide, so just you guys directly don't dive into agile. Before diving into agile, just try to understand the history, like how does this agile came, what we are using, the predictive approach, earlier approach, right? So what we are used earlier, so how does, what are the challenges we had in our history, how we overcome. So in order to bring that, I just brought this one. So because why I'm stressing here is, right now everyone is concentrating on AI for everyone, artificial intelligence and machine learning. But if you are relying fully on AI, then you will not be able to develop your analytical skill. All kind of skills will get depleted. You will not, because I see a drawback here, where if a fresher or anyone wants to get into QA and just relying on AI means, definitely it will be very difficult task. So that's the reason what I'm saying is, right, just get into at least 5 years into QA, fully understanding the knowledge, understanding history, then apply AI, use the AI assistant, right? Because then only you will have that knowledge gaining skill, the analytical skill. You should give your brain to think and train and do it by yourself, not just simply getting into the chat GPT and getting the answer. So this is very important point I am stressing to everyone. So you cannot directly go into the, like, agile is the latest, you cannot directly go into the AI just ignoring the history, right? So just make sure all your history related to the QA is learned, then come to the present, right? So just, I don't want to get into deeper here, just to give the history here. Shall I go on to the next one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is same thing, like requirement, implementing, testing, deployment, maintenance, whatever I discussed, but this is kind of waterfall model. It's having disadvantage where you need to wait for one task to complete, then you to do. But in agile, you can do everything parallel and you can deploy in 2 weeks. But here complexity is you need to deploy after 2 months and after 1 month. It's a kind of challenging, and most of the companies, they are not using it. This will be applicable for a construction company, right? If it's a construction company or a manufacturing company, if they are building, right, then the first floor, after completing the first floor only, you can move on to the second floor. You cannot build the second floor without building the first floor, right? So these kind of things will applicable for other thing, not for software right now. The next one, this the test planning, test analysis, test design, test execution, and reporting. So these are the key testing process, what I mentioned, right? So here I will just explain with a spreadsheet. So in the spreadsheet, you can have everything planned. What are the resources? What is the objective? Right? High level planning you do, right? For example, if you're building a similar Flipkart related website, there you need 2 months project. So every 2 weeks you need to release, right? You are building a product and adding it to cart functionality. Weekly wise you are doing, right? So you need to plan it. How many resources you want? What are the tools you want? What are the technology you want? What kind of skills you need? What kind of environment you want? Everything you need to plan, right? Planning to fail is failing to plan, right? So that's how you might hear. So first you need to plan. Next comes the test analysis. Then you need to analyze the requirement, put it in the user story. It's again agile. Then you need to put it's a detailed plan with all the specifics. How many resources? What is the timeline? What is the deadline? What is the start time, end time? It's kind of, it will be a detailed plan based on the available resources. Then you design everything. How does it go? And architecture design, here architecture, right? The solution architect, those people will come in and give the overall picture. How does it should work? What kind of tool, backend tool, what kind of technology they are using, what kind of DB, SQL, whether it's a MongoDB or SQL DB, and technology, it's a Python or Java, and backend API, what kind of API, how many APIs need to be done, right? And those kind of high level design will be done. Then test execution. The test design I mentioned is for development. Test design for the testing team, it will be kind of all the test cases, right? You need to have the test data and what is the expected scenario. You need to write all the expected scenario, and after test execution, you need to fill the actual results. Then comparing the actual and expected, you are going to report the bug, right? For example, in the if you're clicking on the Flipkart home button, home page should be displayed. Instead of home page, if some other contact page is displayed, that is actual, right? And the expected is home page should display. So here there is a difference. So the user, when user clicking on home page, it is redirecting to contact page, which is a bug here, and this needs to be fixed. So that you will be reporting. So for that, I will come and as Ram Guru asked, like I will tell what are the tools available in the next slide. And anything else here? Can I move on to the next one? I think we have a limited time.
Yes, so we can.
Okay. So here, white box and black box. I will just explain a simple term. Black box means QA. QA as me or you guys, you are testing a functionality. You know what input. If you are giving a username and password, it should log in. You know that, right? So you know the input you are giving is login credential. Output is logged in screen should come. The landing page should come. That is black box testing. White box testing means you know what code written inside for accepting the credential and what kind of page should be displayed. So that is white box testing that developers will have, that will come as a unit testing, right? That developers will do. Black box testing is what QA people will do, where we don't know. We know what is input given, or we know what is output. We don't know what is happening inside, right? So that is kind of functional testing. Login entry, I told, right? Login entry, equivalence. These are the different techniques I will explain later. I'll move on to the next one. And functional and non-functional, this already explained. Non-functional, as I said, performance testing, security testing, right? Functional is the kind of smoke testing, integration testing, regression testing. These are different kind of testing. And once the developers give to QA, right, you need to do a kind of sanity testing to make sure all basic functionality works fine. Then only you will able to take the environment and test it, right? If everything is bad, what as a QA you can reject the build, give back to the developers and ask them to fix, then give to you. So for that, you need to do a kind of quick sanity testing to make sure your environment is stable. So that we can call as smoke testing or sanity testing. Different terms, no need to worry about that. And regression testing is kind of, if you're bringing new changes to the existing functionality, right, you should make sure all other functionality should not break, right? You are going to fix, for example, Eric, for example, there is a water pipe, there is kind of leaking is there, so you are going to fix that pipe with the help of rubber tube or anything. You are going to fix it, right? So you have fixed this, and during fixing you might have used that pipe, turn it back, the kind of thing you might have adjusted, or you could have pulled or pushed kind of thing, right? Then you might have fixed. Because of doing this activity, there is a possibility, right? There might be some other place where there some joint might broken. Understand? Like I'm just giving an example. Okay. So you need to make sure the pipe, the water flows from the source to destination. In other joints also, you should make sure that is not affected because of what you fixed now, right? So it's a simple example I gave here. And yeah, I think we can move on to the next one. Do you have any questions here? Yeah, this kind of high level you can keep in mind. Don't want to get deep into it.
No questions, sir.
Yeah. So these are the testing technique I told. So quickly I will go through it. So what I mentioned, right? As I said, in the 2 weeks time, right? I told you will not have time, correct? You will have 4 days time, right? In the 4 days time, you cannot testing the exact, you cannot test with all the data, right? There will be permutation combination, you don't know, right? The probability you will put, it will take many days to test. So in order to avoid that, there are test design techniques like equivalence partitioning. So customer is saying that the valid is 6 to 10 digit. For example, if your username, right, or your email ID should be between 6 and 10 digit. So you are partitioning that to 6 to 10, and 0 to 5 will be invalid, 11 to 14 will be invalid. So you need to test negative scenario, positive scenario. Positive scenario, you are putting a number 8, so it should work pass. For negative scenario, you need to test 0 to 5, you put number 3, it should fail. And about 10, 11 to 14, you put any number like 12, it should fail, right? So you know this should fail. So these both positive and negative scenario are covered here, right? So here you know you need not to test 7, 8, 9, 10. Everything is not required to test. And invalid minus scenario, like it can be -1, -2, 1, 2, 3. Those things need not to test. Understand, right? You just need you know the range. From the range, pick one data. You know the range, pick one data. That's all, testing completed. So here, that permutation combination for many things will get reduced here. Okay, so that is equivalent partition one method, and boundary value analysis there. So if you want to test for 1 to 100 range, you need to test 0 is available, 1 is available, 100 is available, and 101 is available, right? Only those things, it's enough. You don't need not to check either data like 12, 13, 14. Each data, it's not necessary for you to test. Just take one more example. I don't know if the slide is visible. So boundary value analysis, 18 to 56 is the valid number. So below 18, you take only 17. After 56, take 57, right? Just take one value, make sure it's invalid, and take one value from valid and make it state, so that testing many data is reduced. Similarly, state transition testing, right? If you insert for example, in the ATM, if you insert the card, next only it will ask for PIN, right? Directly, it will not ask you to take the money, correct? So once you provide the PIN, then it will ask, either you can change the PIN change, or you can give some random number for testing, or it will ask for mobile number, anything, right? After giving mobile number, then it gives withdrawal, or right, step by step. This is state transition, right? So so that is called state transition testing. So this can be put in a flow chart, right? So in that scenario, you know what is the next step should get on. The unnecessary steps are avoided here. So in this way, you are avoiding your time, the data, everything here. Got my point? Do you have any questions here? Sorry?
No, sir. Everything is clear.
Okay. Okay. So this again same thing, functional, non-functional. Okay. So here, actually, since we are concentrating only on QA, performance testing, as I said, like taking load time, right? Like the website should load in less than 3 seconds, I told, right? Actually, for performance testing itself, there is a kind of specialized, it comes under specialized role, right? There is a lot to learn in this. So there are different types of testing. I just don't want to get deep into this. So specifically, like we can take it later. I hope you understand what is the performance testing, right? So performance testing is before going to live in the Amazon, for example, Flipkart. At the time, if it's a time right now 254, at the time there can be 100 users might be logging. Whether 100 user is able to access the website and get their product purchased, right? These simulations should be done in the QA environment or staging environment by yourself, by QA people. They call the specific role as performance tester, right? They should simulate the scenario by themselves. You need to simulate, like you should have 100 users or 1,000 users. You can simulate by yourself at the same time, and do all the benchmarks and make sure it is working fine. Then only you should deploy to the production. Simply you should not deploy the production, right? If Netflix is there, right? Once they made it free for everyone, and everyone started using it. Probably what I think is that they want to do test their load testing or volume testing. They want to test their volume, but it is for us. We know we are very excited and we logged in and get it for free. But what they are doing in the back end, they are testing their performance, right? So we don't know that. So we should be able to understand what's going in around. Like if anything is free, we need to understand why they are giving free, right? So that is a real-time testing they are doing. But here and all, if you want to put into production, right, you need to do your own testing. For that, you should have separate kind of server request. You should have ability. Will not be sufficient to handle that, right? So those things comes. Let me move on to the next one. And these are the tools: JMeter, Load Runner, RK6, are the different kind of tools they are using for testing. And Ramguru, like this is what the tool I'm mentioning. So Jira, Bugzilla, Redmine, right? So are the tools where bugs can be reported, right? So you can provide the bug description there, and at the same time you should provide screenshot, even video recording, right? So it will be very challenging for QA person to explain to the developers. For example, right, you're finding a bug, second time you are not seeing it. Probably it's kind of edge case scenario. So it is the QA person role to record your activity, whatever you're doing. So once you have the video ready, you can share it to the developers, right? So these kind of thing we have to do, and we need to be more careful in that and providing. And if they ask for the reason, we can ask them to look at the logs, right? So main thing, like whatever you're doing, doing it for the first time, you do it productively and make it correct. And most of the time we waste our time in repeating this testing the same testing again and again. We should not do that. Okay, these are the different types of tools used for tracking bug and defect management team. And this is the severity priority I'm already covered. As I said, like severity is what? The bug in terms of failure data, right? It's critical. I told, right, data corruption or payment affected, those comes under severity. Priority comes under based on the business needs. The business people say, right, it should be fixed immediately. For example, they have informed to their customer this feature should be available, we should make it ready. Okay, those kind of feature. So here example is spelling mistake is seldom use error message. For example, spelling mistake can be low severity, but it's high priority visible to the major product launch, right? You can say it's a small mistake, spelling mistake, but if it comes to the live and people from all over the world, they are looking into it, or any product launch they are doing it, if there is a small spelling mistake, it's very same for right client, right? So that will become priority at that time, but for you it will be kind of a small one, right? So those things should be taken very, very careful, right? That is called cosmetic bug. We call it cosmetic bug. So this is how to report in Jira, right? So you need to, as I said, like you should add clear details. You should provide the environment. As I recommend, right, it's better to record whatever you're doing and provide it. More than screenshot, it's better, right? So I can show the tool, like not today, like since we don't have time. Yeah, so diving directly to the final topic. So here entry level, you can join as a QA tester or junior test analyst. Okay. And mid level, it's QA engineer, automation tester, test analyst. Senior level is QA lead, architect, right? QA manager. As I told, performance tester is a specialized role, and the software development engineering test, it's kind of a new role. And DevOps QA, DevOps, as I said, right, you need to work with the infrastructure team for deployment to production. And growth opportunities, you can move from QA to project management, you can do, and you can move to the DevOps team where you can host a new website in the production, and you can also become a director of the company, anything, right? And yeah, thank you, and let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you so much, Sudhakar, to explain all these roles and responsibilities to our guys. And our people has done small project works to get hands-on experience in Salesforce, Sudhakar. So
Okay.
that time they have used the Jira also. But
Oh, Jira,
coming to
okay.
Jira, how they'll work on quality, from quality perspective, how they'll work, how they'll use to Jira. Those things we are not aware of it.
Okay. So you're saying they are used for project management, not for defect tracking, correct? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, okay. So in the Jira, when you are creating a Jira, there is a option called report issue option is there. So once you create it, in the report issue, whatever the issue you are finding, right, you need to give in the title saying that you can give the tag. For example, some module, say case module, right? In Salesforce, what module you have? Example, some module, any module, right? You can provide the module name as a tag and say that this module is throwing bug when user clicks on some menu, right? If there is a error,
Take it as a login issue, a login page.
for example, login issue. Okay, for this module, user is not able to log in. That will be a kind of title, right? Then comes test details. Then comes the steps to reproduce. In the steps to reproduce, you need to give all the steps, like provide this credential, right? Go to next step, third step, fourth step, provide everything. Then comes, you can also, there is an option to include expected result, actual result. In the expected result, you should mention user should be able to log in successfully. In actual result, after QA done their testing, right? If they are seeing some weird behavior, they can mention that it is not working as expected. Instead of login, it is moving to some other screen, or it is throwing the error message. Provide the screenshot, right? So everything, the Jira, you can customize for yourself, right? You can create that expected result, actual result, steps to reproduce, right? All these things you can do it in the Jira. Then you can do the attachment also. Screenshot attachment will be there. Apart from that, if you want, you can locally record your session and you can attach in a drive and you can put it there. So your Jira should have all the steps, step by step. One is title, steps to reproduce, expected result, actual result. At the same time, you might have you would have that user story created in the project management tool. You should link this defect to that user story, right? Without fixing it, you cannot close that user story. So that everything is in sync. At the same time, if you have the test cases written for that user story, even you need to link this bug to the test cases also. If you have the test cases written in Jira, right? So there is a Zephyr test is there, test case or something. The plugin is there where you can write the test cases also. So this is the process. If you find the agile process, these things will get organized. At the same time, for the project management, you should have the definition of done written for that particular user story. So once you validating the bug, you should make sure all the definition of done are completed. Probably it's not required for the bug, but at least for before closing the user story, that definition of done should be validated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you
So
so
yeah.
much. So, guys, any questions from your side?
Sir, for this testing, do we need to do any certification with that?
Yeah, one certification what I did is ISTQB. That's an international software testing qualification board. So that is what is it? Internationally agreed upon QA. But apart from that, there is no any other certification for QA alone. Like you can do kind of local thing, but probably like since it's international standard, right? It's good to go ahead with that ISTQB standard. Right, but anyway, right, probably those things will have a value if you are working in on-site, right, or on-site. But in India, you should be more proactive in clearing the interview. They don't consider your certification. They consider how you answer the question. So people in India are more smarter than offshore or onsite, right? So the certification doesn't matter in India. Yeah.
From one more question from my side.
Yeah.
So coming to Salesforce perspective, few people completed admin part and they are not interested to coding. So those people, if they choose QA, so what could be the ratio to get the jobs?
So just want to understand, like on admin, what they learn, like what do they learn?
No, admin in admin part, like overview of a project. In case in every project in Salesforce, without admin, they can't build the project first. So they have that knowledge, but coding part, if they don't interested, they'll move to some other roles like your QA and QA. So if that is the case, what could be the job ratio? I mean, will they get opportunities in the market or not?
Yeah, based on my understanding, the admin role, what they have done is right. They'll be setting up the configuration management system, something like that, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Configuring for the project, right? And they know top to bottom, right? How does the Salesforce life cycle works, correct?
Yeah, they know overview of the project completely, but
Overview.
automation part they will not do.
The
So-
automation part they don't know, but manually they know. But whatever the issue comes, they need to fix it, right? Whatever the issue comes and whatever the developer says, they should be able to fix that and provide that immediately, correct? So,
Yeah.
so this shows that they already have the analytical skill, right? Problem solving skill, resolving the what's the blockers, right? So
Correct.
these skills are more enough, right? More enough to get into QA. But currently, what the world is expecting is right. You should have some automation experience along with that, right? Along with that, you should have some AI related experience.
Okay.
Okay, the current market is you should have manual because whatever the manual test cases, test scripts, right? If you use any AI tool, it will give test cases. It will give everything. It will give if you provide something, right?
Correct.
So at the same time, we cannot say whatever it giving is correct, right? It's not 100% correct. I can say 70% is correct. So that's the reason I'm saying, right? Just they need to brush up the basic analytical skill. The testing techniques I told, boundary analysis, equal partitioning, state transition, all the basics testing they need to brush up. So it will not be very tough for them to cover. Based on what I'm recommending, saying if they are freshers, definitely if they say they have worked on admin and they know QA basic, definitely they will take it. But if you are an experienced person, they might expect right automation experience, Selenium.
Adding to that, saying sorry, disturb you. Sorry,
Yeah.
disturb you. Slightly. Adding to that, so any freshers who has joined Salesforce training and they completed till admin part, what could be the opportunities to join as a fresher QA analyst? Do we get any opportunities like that, freshers for QA?
Yeah, definitely, because like what based on the assumption what I heard from you, right? That means they having all the capability, what needs to be done for a project top to bottom, right?
Yeah.
The QA it's not about QA alone. Requirement gathering also is there as part of that, right? That is already covered in the admin, right? So the same knowledge you should have in the QA also. If new requirements comes, you should be able to understand, right? And write the test cases based on that. So those capability they already have, right? The only thing what I'm saying is right. Just there are many online tools they can brush up the QA knowledge, like testing techniques, black box testing, different types of testing, regression testing, integration testing, component, different types of testing, and what are the environment. I think environment is already covered in admin. I guess you have some QA environment development.
Yeah,
you have
we do
different type of environment, right? Different type of environment, production environment.
Yeah, we do have.
Yeah, so those things are already covered there. So only the terms, right? The for QA specific terms they need to learn, right?
Okay.
Learn, and if you attend 4 to 5 interviews, definitely in the 5th interview they will easily go through it, right? The only thing you need to update your resume according to QA perspective terms. So that I can help you if you guys want, like what.
Sure. Thank you so much, sir. There is someone, Mohammed Fahad, is waiting for you.
Yes, Mohammed. Yeah.
Mohammed, can you please go ahead?
Mohammed and Aravind.
Mohammed? Yeah, Arvinda? Yeah, please go ahead, Arvinda.
Hi. May I know what are the opportunities for a career gap person for a QA job?
Okay. So what? This is
Having some few
for
years
you?
of IT experience and now restarting the career.
Yeah. Like, are you asking for you?
Yes.
Yeah. Like, may I know your previous experience?
It's the application development for 3.5 years.
Yeah. What technology?
Uh, it was C under Unix environment I used to work. It's long back.
Okay. C and Unix. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you might have done unit testing, right? As part of your
Yes.
development.
Unit testing, regression testing, load testing,
Yeah.
stress testing, everything I have done.
Okay. Then
Uh,
definitely you can go into
So
QA.
I have upgraded myself to Salesforce right now. So why
Okay.
should not I go for a QA role also? Look after it.
Yeah, that's like actually you have asked your question for yourself, right? You have answered for
Yes,
yourself.
yes,
So
yes.
definitely you can go ahead. So no, nothing doubted because you already covered stress testing, load testing, everything you have covered. So definitely like it depends on you, right? What is your interest, right? So that drives you what you want. So based on that, you can update your resume and you can try and attending interview. So you will have an experience.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Arvinda. Guys, is there anyone to ask questions to Sudhakar? Any doubts away for your career or any career perspective? So it's about to wind up the session. So we'll wait only for next 5 minutes. So in case if you have any doubts, please check with Mr. Sudhakar.
Yeah, hi, sir. So
Yes.
actually, as I said earlier, I have experience on HR domain, and I have a career gap as well for almost a year. So right now, I'm pursuing Salesforce admin and development. But what are the possibility for me to get into a QA role? Because I don't have any prior experience on any manual testings or anything as such.
Okay. So as I said, right, the same thing like the admin, right? So in the admin, you are doing configuration management, right? You are doing configuration. You understand, right? You understand what is being done in admin by gathering the requirement, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So so the basic QA job role is same thing. You should understand what the requirement is given, right? And you should be able to break down the requirement, right? And understand that, and you should be able to write the test cases. For example, I should be able to log in. The user should be able to log in. How many characters are accepted? How many the password, right? Password restriction policy it's followed. Those are the basic things, right? So those things are you need to validate it. So in the admin, whatever you're doing it. But in the QA, whatever you're doing it, you are validating it by yourself. Okay, whatever the developers gives, you are validating it whether it is right or wrong. Correct. For that, you need to know some techniques. So all the basic techniques you need to learn. At the same time, there are many many tools are available. Like you can prepare yourself by mock. I can give you a guidance like how to prepare mock. Right, you can take mock tests, everything. So you are into HR and you are doing development and admin, right?
Admin.
Admin.
Yes, sir.
So and why do you want to switch to QA now? Like
I just want to explore what is QA and what are the possibilities available.
okay, So basically, right, probability, I just say in a simple term, if it's in a big team or big company, okay, if for example, it's medium team, 10 members are there, okay, 5 to 6 people will be developers, okay, 3 people will be QA, right? Ratio is like this, every company, everywhere you go, right? The small company will take 250 employees, right? 180 to 200 will be developers, 50 people will be QA. So from this, what we can understand is, right, the it's not that opportunity is less, right? You need to skill yourself so that you fit into that opportunity. Because even though the numbers is less, you decide most of the factors, because you decide whether it needs to be go to production or not. You decide whether this is cost effective or quality effective, or right, everything is there. So we have that power, but we need to utilize in that assertive manner. For that, you need all other skills like collaborative skill, negotiation skill, people relationship skill, everything you need to maintain. So so it's not about just QA alone, because if developers means they do what testing, Java specific testing for that module, but as a QA, you are taking whole responsibility from getting the requirement from the BA till moving to the production. Okay, because tomorrow if something goes wrong in the production, first thing they will ask you. Okay, first thing yes, means that it's not the risk, right? Means that you have that authority, that power that you have the whole responsibility, right, to make sure everything is correct. So that's the reason from QA people move to director. People go do a startup. Okay, they become solution architect, they do project management, they do everything, because they have all these skills starting from requirement to production. Yeah, someone wants to ask question.
Thank you.
Yes,
Sangeeta, please go ahead. Sangeeta, you're on mute, Sangeeta.
I think Sangeeta is on mute.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, yes,
Please, yeah, please.
Yes, Sudhakar. So I have 8 years of experience in QA already. Okay.
okay.
So right now I'm on career break. I mean, from last 1 year I took the break, and right now I'm upgrading myself with Salesforce.
Okay.
So I just want to understand that what are the possibilities in career for me. Like actually, I'm looking for the BA. So is it possible to pursue me as a BA?
Okay, you told you have 8 years experience in QA, right?
Yes.
What are the have you worked on manual and automation?
I have worked on manual, and I also done API testing, database testing. But I haven't got chance to work in as a automation.
Okay, why do you want to move to BA? You said you want to move to BA.
I think I have more interest in the like from the client side, understand the client side and all, because in the last company also I was always interactive with the stakeholders, client companies and all, and I was enjoying that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so your question is you have a QA experience. Right now you are pursuing Salesforce, right? Admin or
Yes.
development?
Right now started admin.
Admin, okay.
Yes.
And you are interested to move into BA, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So as I said, right, QA takes a whole responsibility from gathering the requirement till the production goes live, right?
Yes.
So since you have that what the skill already you have it, you had conversation with client stakeholders, and you have done that, then definitely you can update your resume according to that. In the past 8 years, right? Whatever the QA activities you did, you can just make changes according to the BA role. There
Okay.
you can keep QA as a because BA also do kind of business kind of testing, like
Testing. Yes.
yeah, product owner. You might heard about the jerking
Yes.
language, right?
Yes.
Given when that, right? Given when then. So
Mm-hmm.
that kind of testing, Cucumber framework they do because they want product owners or business owners to understand.
Okay.
Correct. For
Mhm.
that, QA people themselves do, because if QA do their testing in their terms, business owner or BA cannot understand.
Okay.
Okay. So you can you can keep those things in your resume, saying that you have worked on automation where business people can understand, right? The Cucumber framework,
Cucumber. Okay.
BDD.
Yeah. BDD testing.
BDD testing, you can keep that.
Okay.
So that you can combine both. Since you have a business, you have interact with the stakeholders, you can 80% you can mention those skill, and 20% you can mention these automation and manual skill, and you can start applying job. So getting into the BA should not be a big task, but you should have knowledge specific to domain.
Domain.
Like
Yes.
healthcare, the insurance, or it is a retail. Those things you should be more careful in that area. Whatever you're providing it.
Okay.
Not my point, right? So it's
Yes.
not just BA. You should have that domain expert.
Domain. Okay. So, in for the Salesforce, what are the possibilities? I mean, in Salesforce project as a
For
BA.
your, what you're
BA.
saying, Salesforce project, BA for Salesforce project, you're saying, yeah?
Yes. Yes.
I don't know if the company recruit that specific to that, because company recruit as a BA. Okay, they
Mhm.
never know what project comes and what project goes, right? And it will be kind of BA means you should be capable of doing multitasking. Whatever domain comes and whatever the project comes, right? You should
Mhm.
be able to handle. So uh, no one hires specific to like, yeah, they hire, but the chances are less, I'm saying.
If they are already using a Salesforce in their company, then they might be hiring for the.
They're hiring, but you cannot pick and choose like that, right? You should be open. Then only the opportunity will be open for you.
Okay.
If you restrict yourself with the limited thing, then the opportunity will get reduced.
Okay. And do you know what are the other tools I should know for the BA or for the, as I mean, like for the management role?
For BA, I don't know. I think if you have Agile,
Yeah, I have already used Jira. I
okay,
know.
Jira, and if you know Agile framework, that will
Yeah.
be a added advantage for BA people, because they conduct, like, they come and join the stand-up meeting, retrospective meeting, all the Agile ceremonies, right? So
Yes.
those knowledge is good enough. But what I recommend for you is, like, I just want to make sure, like, you have some kind of domain expertise, get it knowledge on those areas.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, the interview will be kind of how you handle the client, how the challenges you faced, and how
Okay.
you track the deliverables, how you interacted with, how much customer satisfaction score you got.
Mm-hmm.
Interview will be kind of simple only, but the way you answer only will impress them.
Okay. And for QA related,
Mhm.
what if I have to learn about the testing using AI? Okay. S-
For
So
QA. Mhm.
yes, yes. So so what are the resources? The resources for this
You want how AI is used in
testing.
QA testing, right?
Yes.
So, for example, right, you're writing a manual test cases, right? If
Mhm.
you write it by yourself, it will take 3 to 4 days. But if you use any AI tool. You are
Hmm.
using AI assistant, right? You are not fully relying on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Either you can write your test cases and validate with AI assistant, making sure it is correct, and if you are missing anything, right?
Yes, yes.
You can use AI only for that, right? You cannot fully rely on AI.
Mm-hmm.
First step is you should know how the test cases work, what are the test description, how you are writing the test cases for given user story, and validate against AI to make sure you are not missing any functionality. You are not missing any non-functional requirement like security, performance, or any kind of scenarios. For that
Okay.
validation purpose, you can use it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that, you can make use of it. But right now, there are many tools came in the market where if you type in a normal English, right, it will generate the code or it will give the test case
Yes,
creation
yes, yes.
to make your but at the same time you can just fully rely on AI, create the test case, and you can review it later also. Either way you can do it.
Okay.
Okay, the second part will be reducing your time.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is, right, if even though if reduce your time,
Mm-hmm.
you will lose your mind, you'll stop training your mind to
Correct.
think. So that is
So many people are mentioning like we know testing QA using AI. So what are they? I mean, what are they specifying? Means what quality they are getting in that?
the quality is, as I say, right, you take 3 days to create test cases, you do it one day. That is the quality.
Mhm. But we are not using our brain. We are using AI's.
Yeah, so it's nothing wrong. Nothing wrong if you are already experienced person, right? In your scenario, it's nothing wrong using AI tool. But for freshers, it is bad.
Okay. Okay, understood.
You should go into QA at least for a couple of years, 3 to 4 years, then use AI. But you are already 8 years experience. For you, it should not be a problem. You can directly use AI. AI in the cell, right? They will use the open AI API call. They will use. They will call that API and they do prompting and they get the test cases and they integrate into the thing. So for that, the backend Python coding and all they will do.
Okay.
Yeah, it is just using the AI tool. Instead of going to their AI tool like Perplexity or Gemini, they will use those API and they will integrate into the project because
Project.
all
Yes.
companies will not allow this one. What
Okay.
all companies will not allow outside AI tool, right? So you can use your AI to API to do that.
Okay. Okay, Sudhakar.
Okay.
Understood. Okay. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, thank you so much for your valuable time, sir. I think maximum you have answered to their questions. So, guys, if you have any questions, you can ask them, or else can we wind up this session? Sir, I think it's good to wind up, sir. Thank you so much
Okay,
for
sure.
valuable insights.
Thank you. All the best, guys. Have a great day. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
If you are interested to learn Salesforce, visit AJ Skill Development website. There you can find our course curriculum and you can come to know about the list of courses we are offering. We are offering Salesforce Administrator and Salesforce Development courses. To know about us and the team, you can visit our About Us section. This is an organization we are doing Salesforce training from 2018 and we have trained and guided 2000 plus candidates so far. And if you also want to know about our placement assistance, visit our placement assistance section where you can find the list of people and the category. You can see the list of people who got trained and placed from our side. You can also visit their LinkedIn pages to get to know about our training and also the feedback from the relevant trainees. Okay. And also, if you want to do the course inquiry, click on contact us. You will see the form. You can fill the form and submit the inquiry. Our team will get back to us. Thank you.